He was the first man in U.S. history to hijack a plane for ransom and disappear without a trace. A briefcase with what he claimed was a bomb, a bourbon, and soda in hand, and a calm demand: $200,000 in cash and 4 parachutes. Minutes later, he vanished into the freezing night sky. No body, no confirmed identity, no trail. Just a name: D.B. Cooper. For over 50 years, the mystery has obsessed the public. Who was this man who outsmarted the FBI and pulled off the perfect crime? But now, something has changed. A new claim has surfaced, one that could finally end the decades of speculation. It doesn't come from some conspiracy theorist or YouTube sleuth. It comes from a family. The adult children of Richard McCoy Jr., a name that's floated around the Cooper case for years, say they found something in their late mother's shed: a parachute. Not just any parachute, the one they believe their father used to escape into the night. And here's the kicker: a former pilot and aviation investigator calls this find 1 in a billion. The FBI? They haven't confirmed the case is reopened, but they haven't denied it either. So what really happened that night in 1971? And could the man who vanished into the sky have simply gone home to his wife, his kids, and a life lived in the shadows? What comes next might just rewrite American criminal history. November 24th, 1971. A man using the name Dan Cooper boards Northwest Orient Flight 305 FIMP, same and 305 in Portland, Oregon. Mid-flight, he hands a flight attendant a note claiming he has a bomb. Calm and collected, he orders a drink, bourbon and soda, and lays out his demands: $200 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting in Seattle. He's never seen again. No confirmed sightings, no body. Just a few decaying bills, found in 1980 by a boy digging on a riverbank. Matching serial numbers from the ransom, the case became the stuff of legend. Was he a military veteran? A rogue agent? Did he die on impact or escape to a new life? Theories exploded. Books, documentaries, Reddit threads, everyone had a take, but no one had proof. The FBI chased leads for decades before officially walking away from the case in 2016, calling it unsolved. But they left the door open. If new physical evidence surfaced, especially parachutes or cash, they'd be ready to listen. Now, with the McCoy family's discovery, that door just might have been kicked back open. Just 5 months after the D.B. Cooper hijacking, a man named Richard McCoy Jr. pulled off an almost identical stunt. April 1972. McCoy, a Vietnam War vet and helicopter pilot, boards a United Airlines flight in Denver. He hands over a note, another bomb threat, and demands $500,000 along with 4 parachutes. Sound familiar? It should. He was sentenced to 45 years in prison, but he didn't stay long. McCoy escaped from a federal prison using a fake handgun made of dental paste. A year later, he was killed in a shootout with the FBI in Virginia. So why wasn't he officially linked to the D.B. Cooper case? Despite the near-identical crimes, the FBI brushed it off. They claimed Cooper and McCoy didn't match physically, that McCoy had an alibi, and that there wasn't enough hard evidence to connect them. Case closed, at least on paper. And now, with his own children claiming he was Cooper all along, it raises one serious question. What if McCoy wasn't copying Cooper? Because he was Cooper. For decades, Richard McCoy Jr.'s name floated in Cooper conspiracy circles, but it always lacked one thing: hard evidence. That changed when his adult children, Shanti and Richard McCoy III, went digging through their late mother's shed in North Carolina. Hidden beneath years of storage, silence, and dust, they found something jaw-dropping: a parachute rig. Not a souvenir, not a replica, a real military-style parachute, the kind D.B. Cooper would have used to vanish into the night sky back in 1971. And here's where it gets serious. The McCoy siblings immediately contacted Dan Grider, a retired commercial pilot and aviation investigator who'd spent over 20 years chasing D.B. Cooper leads. Grider didn't laugh it off. He called the find 1 in a billion. Not a guess. His words. According to Grider, the rig's design matches the exact type used in the original hijacking. And most importantly, it wasn't just lying around somewhere random. It was found on McCoy family property. That location alone gave the discovery weight. This wasn't from a thrift store or a collector's stash. It had been in the family's possession for decades, untouched, quiet, hidden. The moment the parachute came to light, it reignited the case. Grider didn't waste time. He made the find public and urged the FBI to investigate. And the response? Quiet, but swift. The McCoy family's discovery didn't just make headlines, it got the FBI's attention. But here's the kicker. The FBI isn't saying a word. No confirmation, no denial. When asked, they simply pointed back to a 2016 statement saying they were no longer actively investigating the Cooper case, unless new physical evidence appeared. Well, now it has. Even more shocking, there are rumblings of a DNA test. The FBI reportedly plans to compare genetic material from the parachute to the partial DNA recovered from the aircraft Cooper hijacked. That DNA was found on the stairway handle, the same one Cooper used to leap into the night. 50 years of silence. A cold trail. And now, the pieces may finally be coming together. If the DNA matches, it won't just be a clue, it'll be the answer. A half-century-old mystery, solved not by theory or speculation, but by a parachute buried in a backyard and a few strands of genetic code. For over 5 decades, the D.B. Cooper case has been a symbol of the ultimate unsolved mystery. A nameless man jumps from a plane, vanishes with a fortune, and leaves behind nothing but questions. But what if the truth was hiding in plain sight all along? Richard McCoy Jr. wasn't just a name on the suspect list, he was a man with the same training, the same method, and the same boldness. He hijacked a plane months after Cooper, used almost the exact playbook, and lived and died without ever being tied to the first heist. If the evidence lines up, if that DNA matches what was found on the aircraft in 1971, then the legend of D.B. Cooper won't just be history's greatest unsolved crime, it'll be solved. The polite, mysterious man who toasted his bourbon mid-flight before vanishing into the clouds may have gone home to his family, living in secret while the country hunted a ghost. So, what do you think? Was Richard McCoy Jr. really D.B. Cooper? Did the FBI overlook the answer for decades? And is the truth finally about to surface? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more wild mysteries with real twists, hit that subscribe button. Because this might be the end of one legend, but it's only the beginning of uncovering what else has been hiding in plain sight.